So the first question from Marie.
Hey, Marie.
Can you please go through any communication types, e.g. body language, tonality, or wording?
Yes, certainly. So you probably have heard this before, Marie. It's quite common. In terms of communication, how we communicate, obviously majority of that is non-verbal, right? So when we think about the words that we use, it's often broken down that words are only about 7% of the things that we communicate. Body language is 55%, tonality is 38%. So effectively what that means is I'm very gestural, right? So I use my hands a lot. So we communicate a lot. If you've ever been to Italy before, you'll understand this, right? It's very easy to understand Italians, even if you don't speak Italian? Yeah, it's easy to understand Italians, even if you don't speak Italian. This is great for communication, kind of get the words out. However, the French are very difficult to understand. French are very nonchalant. They don't really use gesture. Italians, it's all the hands and the movements and the gestures as part of that as well, right? So effectively, when we're speaking to somebody, and this is particularly important in a digital age, you need to understand that we've all had the experience where you've received an email before and you're like, fuck, is this person shouting at me? Is this person angry at me? You don't really understand the context or the subtext of the way that they communicate stuff. There's no room for sarcasm in a lot of language when it's printed on the page, unless it's really, really well written. Whereas if I say something to you in a sarcastic way, in my tonality, my body language, my facial expressions, I think there's close to 160 muscles in the human face that communicate and manipulate with the way that we communicate things as well. So it's important to understand the bigger picture. So effectively, to break it down for you, you've got majority of the way that you communicate. I think it's close to 93% is actually in the way that you communicate, not the words that you say. So this is why when someone says it's not what you said, it's the way you made me feel, or it's not what you said, it's the way that you said it, you know, it has real impact. And, you know, my wife and I would say my wife and I communicate very well, considering how much time we spend together. However, the only issue she has with my communication is the words that I say are fine, but if I'm in an intense space, if I'm angry about something, or if I'm feeling frustrated, or if I'm angry or whatever, it's the way that I communicate those words that oftentimes I'll end up getting in trouble about. So just keep that in mind. It's important to understand. It's not what you say, it's the way you make people feel. And a great principle as part of this as well is to understand that ultimately you're responsible for your communication. And there's a great language, great sentence, which is that the meaning of the communication is the response it elicits. I'll repeat that because I know there's a lot in there. So the meaning of the communication is the response it elicits. What does that mean? It means that if I communicate something to you and you feel happy and uplifted, if that was my intention, well done. But if I was trying to make you feel happy and uplifted and instead you felt that I was being condescending and rude and obnoxious, well, it's not that you misinterpreted me, it's that I didn't communicate well. And if you have that mentality, you'll always do well. So when I'm communicating to my wife and I'm trying to let her know how much I love her, and instead she wants to punch me in the face because I've been irritating her all day. I think earlier today she says, don't make me smack you or don't make me belt you. That's quite a common thing. Anyway, I just wind her up. If I'm trying to be loving and supportive and instead she's getting pissed off, and you know, ladies, I'm sure you've had those experiences with your partner as well, then I need to change the way that I communicate. At least that's what Ash tells me that is the right next step.